Hey guys, what's up? It's Danielle. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing this a little bit differently. I know that for the past few weeks, I've really been, posting a lot on my planner, and that's because I've just had so many updates. So I will be completely honest. About 3 weeks ago now, I actually went on like a vacation, I guess you could call it. And I went to a friend's wedding back in Cleveland, and that just completely threw me off as far as my planner is concerned. So I'm just now trying to get back into the swing of things, and you're probably going to be able to see that because I don't really have that many updates to share with you guys. But the ones that I do, I feel like are relatively good ones. So first of all, let me apologize because there's going to be like a lot of different sounds in this video. Right now you can probably hear my air is on. I'm not turning that off just for the sake of a video. I'm sorry. It is incredibly hot outside. And also you may or may not be able to hear my washer and dryer because Mama's trying to do some laundry right now. So just be aware of that. I hope that you guys won't be able to hear most of it, but just throwing that out there for y'all. So let me preface this by saying that I tend to work on my planner, I guess, in like spurts. And I tend to be this way with almost everything, where I get really, really into something and I work on it for hours and hours and hours and days on end, and then I just end up kind of sitting back and like taking a break from it. I've always been like that. I'm pretty sure that will never change, but this is something that I've tried to be a little bit more consistent about, just because it's a planner. Like, I don't want to neglect it because I paid good money for it, and also I paid good money for my inserts. So anyways, I wanted to share with you guys what this week looks like. Last week, I guess I can show you that too. I'm not gonna show it to you in my rings. Well, I guess I should, just so that you can get the full picture. But I'm still using the same inserts. I still love them to death, and I don't know, I'm just obsessed with pocket size, as y'all know. So this is what last week looked like, and if you compare it to the last week that I shared with you guys, I have actually added a couple more boxes to my days. So I know I mentioned that I try to drink 2 gallons of water a day, and my water bottle is about half a gallon. So I actually fell out of that habit for about 2 or 3 days because I broke my water bottle at work and it was depressing. So I ended up getting a new one. So that is, it's been fixed. So anyways, that is what the first 4 of these boxes are for. So every half gallon that I drink, I highlight it. The 5th box is actually for whether or not I drink, Gatorade. And I only drink like the sugar-free stuff. I only also drink it when I work out. So that basically means that if I'm drinking the Gatorade, I also worked out that day. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But the last 3 boxes are, strictly, I guess, for like my eating disorder. So I am basically trying to eat normally, which I have never done in my entire life, and it's a constant struggle. I hate it, but I don't hate it nearly as much as before I was in recovery, which, by the way, new tattoo, just for recovery. Woohoo! My mom is probably going to try to murder me when she sees that. But then again, she also doesn't know about the one that I got for my birthday right here on my shoulder last year. But anyways, I'm a grown lady. I'll make my money, whatever. So the last 3 boxes are for whether or not I eat mindfully. And that's something that I've really been trying to push on myself, just because I have really noticed a difference when I actually do that. So you can Google it if you want, but I'll give you the basic rundown. Eating mindfully is basically where you eat without any distractions. And I feel like in today's world, that is extremely difficult to do. I know especially for myself it is, because a lot of the times I feel like I'm lonely, and you know, I'm always on Instagram, like talking to my cousin, talking to my brother. I'm always, you know, looking at dog accounts that I follow because I love dogs, even cat accounts, you know. I'm like responding to people and blah, blah, blah. Or I'm on Facebook, you know, dealing with that. Or I'm on YouTube, you know, watching planner videos or, you know, cleaning videos. Also a lot of like history stuff on there. So there's a lot that can keep my mind occupied, just as far as like my laptop or my phone are concerned. And it's honestly really difficult to step away from those, even just for the amount of time that it takes me to eat. So that has probably been the most challenging part of this. I have been pretty successful with doing it at work, I will admit. Just depending on the situation, I try to find the quietest area possible, which where I work, that is no easy feat. And basically I'll just shut the door. I like to be in silence, you know, kind of decompress from whatever's going on, and I'll just sit there and I'll eat my lunch. Now, it's, like I said, kind of difficult because my phone is right there, and you know, since I'm at work, I am not on Instagram all the time. I'll check it like if I'm, you know, going to the bathroom, or if I'm, you know, on break, or if I'm in a meeting, like waiting for the meeting to start. But aside from that, you know, it's like very limited. So as somebody who is essentially glued to their phone, it's pretty difficult. And it's also very hard to eat in silence for me anyways, because again, like I said, I get lonely pretty easily. So it's honestly just learning how to be okay with that. And I like my little box system because it really allows me to reflect on whether I did something or whether I didn't. And it also forces me to, you know, consciously decide, hey, I need to be doing this or I need to be doing that. Another thing that I also did was I included days that I backslid as far as my ED is concerned. So that way, you know, I can just kind of think back to what was happening and why I backslid, things like that. So far, this is what the current week is looking like. So today is Monday, and this is what it's looking like so far. So you're definitely always going to see a pattern where for the days that I work, I don't really have any tasks or anything on my pages. And that's just because I try to get everything done on the days that I have off. And I really try not to expect a lot out of myself on days that I work, because it's always different and it always ends up being crazy. So anyways, moving on, but still talking about planners. In my last video, I mentioned that there are shops on Etsy that offer planners, pocket-sized planners with 30mm rings. And my cousin, which, girl, I owe you so much at this point. She has, like, every time I have a question, like, planner related, or, you know, like, who sells this, who sells that, she's always like, oh, you can look at this shop. So I got to give that girl a lot of credit. But anyways, there is one that she told me about that she found on Instagram, and it's called the Chunky Planner. So the biggest caveat with the lady who sells them is that she only makes a limited quantity. And so it's kind of like a Birkin, you know, because they take a while to be made, and, you know, there's a very limited amount, there's a higher demand. So for a couple of weeks now, I've been trying to get my hands on one. And today I finally did. So I was going to share a picture with you guys, but if you're really curious, you can go look her up on Instagram. It's just the Chunky Planner. And she also has a shop on Etsy. So her planners, think of the Filofax domino, where, you know, it just has like the string that, you know, you put over the outside of the planner to like kind of close it. So for me, I'm not a big fan of that, but given that they are 30 millimeter rings, I am, you know, I'm okay with that. So these are all completely handmade, and including shipping, it ships from Hawaii. I think it was about $65, and they look really, really well made because she makes them all by hand. And I think she only makes about 6 of them, you know, at a time. And that's because, you know, she's a mom, and you know how that is. I personally don't, but a lot of you guys probably do. So she, you know, does that like in her spare time. So I just ordered it today, and I am not sure when it's supposed to get here. From what I've seen on Instagram, other people have been getting theirs about a week from the day that, maybe like a week and a half to 2 weeks from the day that they actually order it. Her processing time says right there that it's anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, but from what I've seen, it's generally less than that. So I will definitely do an unboxing for you guys, because I know some of you have an interest in that. I know one lady actually commented on my last video asking, you know, where you could find one. And I will also have her shop linked below just in case you're curious. But she does not do any custom orders, and there are also no returns or refunds. So just kind of keep that in mind. Honestly, I'm okay with that because I've been wanting one for a while. And I think I've mentioned to you guys before that I'm kind of getting, you know, a little bit full in this original. So it's totally sad, but that's okay because I'm gonna have bigger rings pretty soon, and then I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm doing with my original. So that being said, I don't really have a game plan. I'm not sure if I want to split them up and have the original be like an on-the-go planner or like a daily planner or whatever, and then just have the Chunky Planner be like an at-home type deal. I'm honestly not sure. I guess I'll just figure it out when it gets here. Not, you know, not the best game plan, but that's okay. But anyways, I apologize because I didn't actually state which shops they were. I don't actually know of any other shops that sell pocket size with 30 millimeter rings. I guess if you really want to, you can just Google it, but, or, you know, find it on Instagram. I would assume that these people are all on Instagram. But one thing that I did see, which again, I have to thank my cousin for this, they sell 30 millimeter rings, like just the rings, on Etsy. And you can, like, you know, take your pick of like the color. I think the shop that I found, they only had gold and silver, but I'm sure you could find other shops that have like rose gold or whatever. And I was actually planning on making my own, you know, pocket size with the 30mm rings. And if you're wondering how I was going to do that, I was actually going to go to like Michael's or Joann's or even Hobby Lobby. I know Hobby Lobby has it as well. And they have those, it's like the DIY leather kits where you can like make moccasins, you can make like bracelets and things like that. And also they have it at AC Moore, I just remembered. But they also have like just a plain sheet. I think it's 8.5 by 11, just a plain sheet of leather. And that's actually what I was going to use to make mine. You know, it wouldn't have had any pockets, but I think I've mentioned to you guys before, I'm not really into pockets in my planners anyways. I feel like they just kind of get in the way and I forget about everything. So, I mean, you know, you can totally take that idea and roll with it, but I might still end up doing that just because I want to see if I'm actually capable of doing that. So we will see, you guys. We will see. But now more than ever, I really need to lean on my planners just because I mentioned this to you guys before, but in September, I will be in Houston for work, and it's going to be really difficult to go 5 weeks without being in my planner, and I know it's just going to throw me off completely. And there's honestly so many things that are in the works right now, you know, personally and professionally. I'll just leave it at that. So I don't really know what's going to end up happening in the next couple of months. And because of that, I just want to make sure that I have a solid base as far as my planner is concerned to come home to. So anyways, that is everything for today. I know it's not very much, but I just want to let you guys know that I have a new planner coming and it is so exciting. By the way, I have also temporarily retired my Holborn because I ended up getting a new purse and it doesn't fit in my purse. So go figure. Also, I've kind of abandoned the whole cash envelope thing because it was driving me crazy. But I may or may not revisit that again. So just in case you guys were wondering. But for right now, I'm kind of just trying to streamline everything, simplify it. And yeah. So anyways, if you guys have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below, or you can find me on Instagram, you can ask me on Snapchat, whatever. But thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all, and I will talk to you all in my next video. Bye, guys.